Some toilets just aren't functional, they are legendary. Ahead of World Toilet Day, feast your eyes on the ultimate throne, Maurizio Catalan's 220-pound, 18-carat gold toilet. The first was stolen and the second goes to Sotheby's, and this time it's strictly off limits. There's going to be no sitting around. And on a more realistic note, 92.2% of families in Sri Lanka have their own toilets, while about 2% have no toilet at all. Welcome to Kaleidoscope, your weekly dive into stories that matter, from the unusual to the urgent. From the Kaleidoscope studios, Jehan Aloysius, Asela Abewardana, and your quick snapshot of the week with CDB News. Curado is this little gallery tucked away on Park Road in Colombo 5, and it is here that Kaleidoscope Vibe discovered award-winning sculptor Asela Abewardana's Sankhara, a collection of hand-molded, mesmerizing ceramic sculptures.
Clay is like a language. You can express what you feel with clay, I feel. We have an innate connection to clay because clay comes from earth. All of us are from the earth and go back to the earth. So there is an innate connection, and when you touch clay, you can feel that connection. Somehow the brain processes it as a part of yourself. So it's like an extended version of yourself.
In Pali, Sankhara means formations, especially with regard to mental processes, things which has been put together in our minds.
So I wanted to study about how our minds work. When you actually think a little bit about them, you realize that there are certain patterns that we kind of build up over time. Very intangible concept with a tangible medium.
Asela's collection of sculptures is about capturing both the tangible and the elusive.
Wabi-sabi is a Japanese concept which kind of teaches you to appreciate the incompleteness, the impermanence, the imperfections of nature and life. In art, if we try to go against it and if we try to look for perfection, I feel that we are failing as human beings.
Dive into Kaleidoscope across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Just follow, like and subscribe to never miss a story. With gratitude to our partners, Selinco Live, CDB and The Daily Morning, for helping us bring every story to life.
She wins with CDB Wings, exclusive financial solutions for women.
Quick, clear, concise. Get your week's news at a glance with CDB News in a blink.
The ADB approves $100 million to strengthen Sri Lanka's financial stability. Sri Lanka's central government debt has a net increase of $1 billion in the first 9 months of 2025. Here are some factoids from Budget 2026. 1,500 million rupees allocated to accelerate startup growth. 440 million allocated to empower women entrepreneurs and welfare. 100 million rupees for care of street dogs and burial of pets, and 2,500 million rupees to develop the Beira Lake into a tourism destination.
Markets in motion this week, from oil and gold to stocks.
The oil share price index on the Colombo Stock Exchange continued upwards, heading towards a new record high of 24,000 points, with few investment options available for local investors. WTI oil prices remained below $61 per barrel as concerns remained over an expected record glut early next year amid rising oil inventories. Gold prices rose this week back above the $4,100 per ounce level on expectations that the US Federal Reserve will cut interest rates by 25 basis points in December. Global polio cases down by 99.9% in just 35 years. every house in Australia to receive 3 hours of free electricity daily because there's too much solar power. Football icon Tom Brady clones his pet dog for 50,000 US dollars.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Silico Life.
Welcome, this is Kaleidoscope Sculptor Life Dialogues. Christmas may still be weeks away, but A Christmas Carol is already warming the season. Jehan Aloysius returns to the stage with a fresh take on A Christmas Carol, reimagining the Dickens classic for modern audiences, blending theatre, movement and music to revive Dickens' enduring message of hope and transformation. He is on Kaleidoscope Sculptor Life Dialogues today. What drew you to A Christmas Carol, a story that's been retold so many times, and why now?
Well, I've always wanted to create a new musical that would be a family musical. Some of my musicals have been a little bit cutting edge or dealt with strong themes, but I thought it's time to do something magical for the family. And it was close to Christmas 3 years ago, and my mom's name is Carol, so I wanted to create something for her. So A Christmas Carol is the perfect title and the perfect play.
So how did you reimagine this and put it into today's context?
What I found that in the novel was that I could expand on making the community more generous, not just Scrooge. In the novel, it is Scrooge who suddenly magically becomes generous after one night, and then he helps one family or two families. But if you can inspire the community to be generous and give back, that has there's continuity in that. There you can build a more community, a generous consciousness about poverty and equality and spreading the joy and spirit of Christmas and beyond just the season, you know. There have been several things that I think I connected with Charles Dickens himself and my life and the difficulties I suffered or went through, challenges, let's say, because we become stronger and we're thankful for those. But we come out of it and we realize we never forget. And not forgetting the community and not forgetting other people that may be going through those same challenges, that's important because we as writers and creators are the scribes of our times, and we have to use this art, whether it's a novel or a play, to inspire others to give.
Did you do anything differently from the conventional story?
The expanding on the Belle and young Scrooge story to bring out the romance in that scene, but also I think the more of a focus on young little tiny Tim, who I feel is so pivotal to the story, and I wanted him to grow and find something more than just money and survival. So I gave him the need to dance, which comes from my working with the soldiers and training the soldiers without limbs or those who do not hear to actually dance, but really taking the time to identify something that you can really help someone to grow with what they have and seeing the ability rather than the disability, that I think is far greater. So I thought it was important for me in my version to really build that relationship between Scrooge and Tiny Tim and talk about disability and the need to not just show empathy, but really to make an effort to change and adapt and be inclusive. Centre Stage as a culture, we are 24 years old, Centre Stage Production in my amateur theatre troupe, a culture of really supporting and nourishing each other and not competing. So we never have that competitivity in the cast. So casting is very important for me.
How do you hope your local audiences, especially the younger ones, will relate to this very timeless tale?
It is a magical play with lots of young characters as well and children. For the longest time, I've been doing a lot more adult theatre and youth theatre with plays like Rag. But this, like my Piramas and Thisbe, is a family show, but this is more of a family show because we've got little kids on stage as well. And it's been interesting for me also because I was not initially used to having so many kids around. But I think it's been a fantastic experience, and the magic, the special effects that we have in this show. We do have some beautiful costumes. We've got 8 workshops around Sri Lanka working on the sets and 4 workshops working on the costumes. We've never worked on such a grand scale before because we are humble original theatre troupe, and we are so glad that we've got amazing partners on this journey.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, isn't it? We'll be back next week with more sparkle.